Hey everybody, it's Jason Baja here, and it's time for part 2 of the Monday Q&A, so let's do it. My question: how important is bar speed for developing strength on big compound movements? Is it normal to have a slow speed when things get heavy? There's a genetic component here, but it really is going to vary from person to person. It depends on how powerful you are genetically versus strong. And it also will depend on how you train. Now, you will see guys who, when they are hitting their big lifts and big PRs, the bar will move very, very slow. But you will also see guys who, when they hit world records, it looks like they just did an opener or a warm-up. It is just fast, such as the current raw squat record. And I cannot pronounce his name, the Russian fellow, so I'm not even going to try. But if you saw it when he did that lift, when he did over 1,000-pound squat, it looked almost like a warm-up. It was just instantaneous, just boom, straight up. So generally speaking, explosiveness and bar speed are very important. If you want to be very, very powerful, I recommend that you put a great deal of focus upon training for bar speed and just moving the weight quickly in general, even with a heavy weight. All right, next question. Most programs have separate power and hypertrophy days. No, they don't. I don't know where in the hell you got that, but some of the popular internet programs for bodybuilders do right now. It's called undulating periodization, and it's no better of a tool than any other. Is it wrong to do, let's say, 3x3 power squats and then follow it up with a 12 to 15 reps leg press? You know, I think people might expect me to trash the leg press on this question because of the machines and it being just less effective than a squat. You know what? Here's my take on it. I'm not a big fan of the leg press, but if you do power squats and you feel that your back is pretty well shot after doing those squats, because maybe you do deadlifts on a different day or you do deadlifts later, and you want some additional leg stimulation and you personally feel like your legs seem to grow more quickly and it doesn't impede your performance, or do some high rep leg presses after your power squatting, and you feel that you can personally see the benefits to it when you do it, then by all means carry on. If it's working for you, then do it. I don't see a problem with it. But by that same token, I could also tell you you could rep out a set of high rep squats afterwards also, but to each their own. It just isn't necessarily a problem. What's the difference between back-off sets and reverse pyramiding? In some ways, they're really similar because obviously you're starting heavy, going lighter, increasing reps. The difference with reverse pyramiding, there's a couple of ways to do reverse pyramid training. Sometimes the reps don't go up because you're taking very short breaks, and it's just trying to do very high workload density training in a short period of time, get in and out of the gym. It's one way a lot of guys do it, like Martin Burkham. Other people take slightly longer breaks so that they can get higher and higher reps as they reduce weight, particularly people who are training close to muscle failure. So there's more than one way to do the reverse pyramid training, whereas in back-off sets is something you see a little more with powerlifting, or at least with lower rep training. And that's to where you're doing one or more sets. You're either hitting like a max 3-rep max or a 5-rep max or whatever you're doing, or you're doing multiple sets like in the last question, a 3x3. And then you come in behind it after you've done true power work, and then you'll do a high rep set to failure, so that you can induce some metabolic fatigue or take it close to failure. And oftentimes those back-off sets are pretty high rep. An example, you guys have seen me do this in a video to where I came in and did some heavy close grip pause pressing, and then I backed down to 120 kilos and cranked out a high rep set afterwards as a back-off set. And you do that purely for the purpose of inducing extra metabolic fatigue and extra hypertrophy after doing your really heavy work or power work. But oftentimes with back-off sets, you're not necessarily seeing a bunch of back-off sets. Like reverse pyramiding is multiple steps. A lot of times when you're seeing lifters do a back-off set, they're oftentimes only doing 1 or 2 sets of higher reps, and they may not drop the weight multiple times. They may just drop down to that and do their 1 or 2 sets if they're doing 2 with the same weight and reps. All right, guys, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time in part 3.